Welcome to the Mother May I podcast with Frank and Irene on Strong Island Entertainment. Gee, I hope I didn't make a mistake with these two. They promised me they'd bring in some really good guests. Well, anyway, here's Frank and Irene.
Welcome to Mother May I podcast with Mr. Frank Conniff, who's looking quite adorable, and I'm Irene Bremis, and a resounding to Facebook. Okay, Frank, looking good, sweetie. Looking good.
Thank you for giving Facebook the finger, because I'm still banned, and I think it's a permanent ban because they won't let me get back on to appeal the ruling. So it looks like I'm
permanently banned without appealing.
Yeah, and when it's just so cruel when you think about all of the cat pics that are going to be denied to people.
Oh
They're
my
not going
God.
to be able to see my cat pictures on Facebook anymore. It's Mark Zuckerberg and Sheryl Sandberg are awful people, and
they're fucking horrible people for denying us pictures of Millie. I'm sorry, but you know what? They actually make me feel better. I know this sounds silly, but when I look at your cat pictures or cute little dog pics or videos, it actually helps my mental health.
I'm the same way. And when I look at other people's videos on Twitter and pictures of their cats, videos of I saw one the other day of like 5 puppies attacking a cat and licking it all over, like smothering it with love. And it's like, okay, now I can make it through my day now that I've seen that.
Oh my God, I love that. You're absolutely right. So fuck them, a resounding F you to these people for how is that even a democracy? Like, how come you can't appeal this? This is crazy. I don't know.
It's a private, I said last week, and I was joking because we had Ronnie Mermel who played Lenny Bruce. I said, I'm the new Lenny Bruce because I'm a martyr for free speech. But I wasn't serious. It's, they're a private company. They can do what they want. They also banned Trump, which I'm fine with. So
right. For good reason, though. Unlike you, who's speaking truth to power.
My thing was like they were totally wrong to ban me. It was just for a joke, and it wasn't hate speech. It mentioned Hitler in it. But now are they going to ban the movie The Producers? Know. So
exactly, you're absolutely right, and it's like we discussed in the last show with Ronnie Marmo, who portrayed Lenny Bruce. Context, as we mentioned, context is goddamn everything.
But the last thing that's going to understand context is a artificial intelligence, which is where these decisions come from. They don't come from people. They come from their algorithms or whatever.
The bots.
The bots. It's literally robots, and as many people, when I wrote about this on Twitter and people responded, as many people point out, it's impossible to communicate with anyone at Facebook. It's impossible to talk to anyone. There's no phone number you can call. Someone tried to be helpful, and they sent me an email that I could write them, and it was like facebook.info. I emailed them with my concern, and I got back a thing that address doesn't exist.
Wow. I had to contact them. It makes you feel so good because they have all our personal sensitive information, and then you can't contact them. It's ridiculous. But also, I did have this one address, one hackway, which is very appropriate.
I thought that was my address.
Oh. Oh my God, Frank, I can't keep up with you. Okay, I want to bring this up before we bring on our fucking amazing guest. I love and miss him so much. But before I do, Frank, I found these cookies for you, and I think that you would really enjoy them. Because I know.
Oh, I've had those. Those are pretty good. Yeah,
they're pretty good, right? I thought of you when I got these. They're called Lenny and Larry's. If you have any sort of like on the precipice of diabetes or have to watch your blood sugar.
That's great because I've had those, and they're okay.
Listen, they're not the best, but they're okay. Yeah. Okay, it's better than
having. But the thing is, I eat those sugar snacks, which if I had my way, I would eat them all day, every day, constantly, 24/7. But with my medical diagnosis that I got when I had my heart surgery, and they said, they also, the medical term was diabetic as fuck. So now I just like have to embrace a concept that has been foreign to me my entire life, which is moderation. But I do on the weekends, I let myself have a sugar thing. And if I do have it, I have a real thing. Like
right.
You know what I mean? It's like
right.
I just let myself go nuts, but it's only that on the weekend,
Right, exactly.
And I know a lot of people I know
right.
who like went on diets and live healthier lives and stuff. They let themselves cheat on the weekend, so I kind of embrace that.
I think, you know what, Steve is doing the same thing, and I think it's great. And you're, coming from a debaucherous person, I get it. Moderation is not in my vocabulary. However, if you're going to be good, it's almost like gifting yourself with like a little something, Right. Okay, so I have this great guest, Mr. Conniff. I don't know if you know him or not, but he's a former New York City police officer, and he's a one hell of a funny ass comic. I love him so much. I know you are. Let's welcome to the show, Mr. Mark DeMayo, everybody.
Hey, we're back. I'm back. I'm on.
You're back. You're on. Oh no, Mark. Do you know Frank Conniff?
Hi, Frank Connor.
Hey, hi. How you doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
What's going on? We were just talking about health, Mark, and Mark actually had this. Was telling me behind the scenes about this. Great thing for your health, I guess, mental health. What was it again, Mark? What were you talking about? This?
I think it's good universally. It's the Wim Hof method. Ice baths is what it's known for, but there's also a very powerful breathing technique that goes along with it. Now, when we first got into first of all, before the pandemic, I drink a lot and I do a lot of drugs and smoke whenever I can.
America's finest. No, wait, what?
I'm exaggerating.
I know, but, I'm kidding.
Getting older, I'm going to be 54. So I didn't want to go back. The free weights in the gym, I did it for, 25, 30 years. I'm bored with it. It doesn't, I don't want to look like that anymore anyway. I want to be functional. I don't want to be sore all the time. I don't want to be hurting or tearing. So I didn't know what to do. I was thinking about some sort of meditation or maybe yoga. Then I stumbled upon this. And basically what I do is, it's so simple. I just do it in my own house. I do the breathing techniques. It probably takes depending on how much time, either between 30 and 40 minutes. And then I take a cold shower. Basically, you just put your shower as cold as it can get. And I do different times, depending on if I have 7 minutes today, I'll do 7. Then it'll be, if I give it a rush tomorrow, 3, 5, 8. But I'm always building up to doing 10 minutes because I've watched he's got a really good Vice documentary. It's called The Iceman. So if you're interested, check it out. You learn everything that you need to know. It's on the Vice.
The Iceman, not to be mistaken with the movie The Iceman. That's amazing with Shannon. What's his name?
Really?
The actor?
That's amazing.
Patrick Shannon?
Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't too crazy about it, to be honest with you. Well, the main.
What?
Yeah, I like the original guy, the way he tells his story. I think Michael Shannon's always good, but I don't think this guy was a much bigger person in real life than Michael Shannon. But that wasn't my problem. The problem was with the ice cream guy. If you watch the original, what is it called? Like a sizzle reel. It's on YouTube still. The actor that they used for the original sizzle reel, they do the scene in the park where where he takes the pills out, or he shoots it right there in the park. But that's a famous scene from the movie. The guy that they had to play the movie is the Captain America guy. He was so totally wrong for the part. It's just unbelievable.
Right.
It just goes to show you, either that guy was busy, the main guy, or the other guy just cut him off and took the part from him. But back to Wim Hof. Check out the Vice channel documentary.
So is he called the Iceman? And you said you take a cold shower. Is that like? Yeah. Is that like a big part of it? Like the.
It's pretty much the fundamental thing because there's a lot to do mentally with having to learn how to deal with discomfort. We're such a society.
Well, we do that in our lives every day, especially with stand-up. No, we could call that the ice shower on stage.
Yeah, well, you know what? When you talk about like that, then I guess I'm into some type of extreme sports because this is exactly like stand-up. I mean, when you got to jump into that shower,
Exactly.
You know, you can't. It's always going to be uncomfortable. That's the one thing.
It's like the polar bear creep. You know, the guys that do the polar bear stuff. They after New Year's Eve, they jump into
in and out of the water. I mean, you got to stay in there. Like I've done 10 minutes 4 times already.
10
like
minutes under the cold shower
for 10 minutes.
Wow, because you know what? It's interesting that you bring that up because you know, we're having this heat wave in New York, and I've actually like taken a couple of cold showers over the past couple of days, but like I think I'm a wimp in this area because the idea of just going under purely cold water, like I never do that. Like I always make it a little warmer or whatever, because to jump under that like cold thing, it's like so intense, and it's I'm surprised. I always scream when I get
Me
under.
too. I'm like, I don't like it. But of course, when I lived in the city, we never had warm water, so I had to take cold showers if I was going to be clean. However, Mark, I do think that he's right, and I see this man's philosophy because it actually tightens your pores up and it makes you alert. So it really wakes up the body. I could see that happening with this.
First of all, it's a controlled breathing technique. So when you get under the water,
does panting count?
No, you have to. You're working on breathing easy and being relaxed. I want to get so relaxed in there that, you know, I can actually get hard. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, thanks for sharing.
That's my goal.
Some
people want to. I want to be able to get a hard on in a cold shower. That's my goal. You know, this guy does. I think he's done as many as 2 hours in ice.
Wow. Wait. So
he's got like 26 world records.
Wow.
He scaled Mount Everest in shorts. He's walked across the desert in barefoot. Like his mind is so strong, he can do anything. And that's what I was going after. I wanted to get my mind strong. And when you mentioned about the, you don't think you can do it. There's so many people I talk to and I mention it to, and they just, I could never do that.
Yes, we could.
And I love having that advantage of it because I like to bust my friend's chops too. I knew you couldn't because you're weak. But
but also, Mark, it's like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the, what's his name that does David Blaine, where he does all these like crazy stunts and he really tests and pushes himself. But I think what you're saying about this shower, I actually think it has not only strengthening your mind, which is the biggest muscle in your body. People don't realize how strong your mind can get, and you can overcome anything and do anything that you want if you put your mind to it. But I think it really has some health benefits. I really do believe the shock to the system alerts the body and wakes the body up, you know?
That's what it is too. You're also like, I don't suffer from inflammation as much anymore.
Inflammation, that's what we need to talk about. That's exactly right.
I used to have my knee drained every year because I suffer
Sounds sexy.
arthritis. And this time of year it would blow up and I couldn't, it wouldn't go away no matter how much I iced it. But now I don't suffer from those problems. I had a crink in my neck for like, I don't know, over a year. I tried everything. I was hanging my head off a door. I went to the chiropractor. I was getting massages. The lady was like, do you want a happy ending?
Happy endings. That wasn't
working on my neck. I said, I'm here for my neck. Forget about that right now. And nothing, no relief at all. And then I started doing these cold showers. And if I go too long without because it kind of sort of ices you for maybe half a day, maybe 12, 15 hours. And then you start feeling it a little bit again.
Okay, but did you ever think, like, I can see the philosophy there, and especially if you believe it, you know, I can see the inflammation going down with the cold showers, but are you doing this in conjunction with like a healthy diet? Because then maybe it would last longer after the cold showers.
Yeah, I started with the diet too. I kind of sort of, it's you know, diets are interesting because you figure out, you know, you have like 2.5 months.
Diet, yeah.
You have like 2.5 months, you know, you're trying new food. It's interesting. And then all of a sudden 2 months go by, 2.5 months. I haven't had pizza in a long time. I haven't had a steak in a long time. I haven't had this. So basically what I just did was I just pretty much cut out a lot of red meat. Maybe I have red meat once a month, and I cut out breads and cookies and stuff like that as much as I can.
It's great.
And I have fish now. I'm eating more vegetables. I never ate vegetables before.
I love vegetables. Oh my God. Frank has got, we were just talking about diet with Frank. Frank, do you care to share your philosophy about the eating, what you were saying before?
Well, because I do eat healthier now since I had heart surgery like 2 years ago. And But my whole thing is what I do is I pick the foods that aren't as bad for my heart that I like. In other words, like I hate salad, so I don't even try to eat them.
Love salad. What's wrong with you guys?
I'm going to give up on it and I'm going to go get a hamburger. I know that, so I eat, but there's like vegetarian chili. I eat a lot of that because I really like it. And, it happens to be healthy. And I eat a lot of bagels, which don't have cholesterol in them, but I know that bread is not the healthiest thing, but I can't resist. Turkey burgers, but actually more lately, veggie. I've been eating a lot of the Impossible burgers.
I have a box of those, Frank. I don't mean to interrupt, but I have a box of those. Next time I see you, I'm going to bring them to you. A huge box of Impossible burgers.
Cool. Because I'll
bring those to you.
I'm enjoying those, and I get the plant-based vegetarian meat, which is an oxymoron, I realize, and then I cook it into a spaghetti sauce, and then I have spaghetti with it. And I love pasta, which what I do is I avoid the stuff that's that's going to be high cholesterol, like steak, and I have it like every now and then. But
well, you know what? Steve's diet completely changed after he saw Game Changer, and I'm afraid to delve in because he literally stopped. Now it's like going out with John Fugelsang. You know how John is? He doesn't eat anything. He fasts like for 24 hours one day, and everything is plant-based. He's giving up everything from cheese to whatever. And he's doing it not only because of health reasons, but also for mistreatment of the animals. My husband's got like a very, I don't know, he's, he's the lesbian in the relationship.
Yes. The thing is if you, and I've eaten very little meat lately, like maybe once a week. I'll get a rare roast beef sandwich, which I love. But vegetarian, if you become
and that cow was already dead, Frank.
It was, and it committed suicide too. So it wasn't a cruel death from someone else. Yeah. But from everything I've read, if you want to help the planet, like if you become a vegetarian, you're already automatically helping the planet, because so much of the trouble we're in comes from the manufacturing of meat. So it's a good thing to do. I'm not a completely a vegetarian, but I think it's a worthwhile thing.
Guys, you can make the most amazing dishes from. I mean, I cook a lot. Especially during this pandemic. I can't believe I actually bought a fucking apron and posted it to Instagram. That's when you're devolving. P.S. But I've been cooking a lot, and you can make some really great dishes from vegetables, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. So there's a lot of things to do anyway. So I want to keep the conversation going because I want to find out what's going on with Mark. Mark, I haven't seen you for a long time. Your podcast, tell everybody about your podcast. It's kicking ass.
I have a podcast called Police Off the Cuff, and I do it with my partner, Bill Cannon. He's a retired homicide sergeant. I'm a retired detective. He's like the real deal. I was kind of like a slacker, so we kind of balance each other out.
You were doing stage time. I remember that.
Yeah. And it's funny the way we were in the studio prior to the pandemic, and then the pandemic hit. We couldn't get into the studio, so what are we going to do? At first, we started doing Zoom like everybody else. That seemed easy enough, and it was limited. Zoom is very limited for podcasts. So then we got StreamYard. From StreamYard, instead of doing it on Facebook Live, we went on YouTube Live. Then we managed to up our amount of listeners, subscribers. We
Are you taking notes, Frank?
we got a Patreon, and now we have ads running on the show, and the whole thing.
That's what we need.
We've got two over 50-year-old guys trying to figure this thing out, and before you know it, we're divvying up not a lot of money, but it's almost worth our while now, all the hard work that we put in. And we've had a lot of phenomenal guests. We just had Joe Pistone on, Donnie Brasco, the FBI agent, the real guy. The day before him, we had the guy who saved the lady's life in the subway. She was getting stabbed. He lives in Brooklyn. So every week we're getting these phenomenal guests. We just had a medium on. She made me cry the other day.
Frank, yeah. Okay, don't be misogynistic. I knew you were going to come for it. Frank doesn't believe in any of that stuff. Of course, I do.
People too. And then I just said right at the end of 50 minutes of talking, I just said, "Well, tell me something about my dad." And then she mentioned your dad used to call you something like a nickname. It was in 3 syllables, and my real name is Mayowanex, and he's the only one that calls me that. Really, because he gave me the name and nobody else really.
Right. See, I know Mark so well that I know his name is Sanchez. What is it? Mayo Sanchez.
Yeah, Mayo
That's his
Sanchez.
real name.
But everybody calls me Mayo, and he used to call me Mayowane.
Wow.
And so that knocked me for a loop. So I got a little choked up, a little emotional. I'm gonna get a reading from her.
Can I also have her contact? I know Frank's. I know you.
Yeah, I will. Everybody.
Can you please give me your contact information? I mean it. I want it.
I will.
I seriously want a reading. Okay.
And besides that, we record on Mondays and Thursdays. You can catch us on YouTube Live, Police Off the Cuff. I also recorded an album.
Oh, yay! Wow, I didn't know this. That's amazing. Great.
Yeah, it's so funny because, like 3 weeks later, everything opens up again. We tried 3 times to do this thing. And
would you do it on Zoom?
No, the album? No, we did it. We did it at the new New York Comedy Club, which is the old Eastville. But
right.
Listen, you're down for for over a year. I had a couple of chances to work it out. When I say a couple, I mean a couple. Like 2 or 3 times to do the whole 45 minutes, hour, and it was as good as I could have gotten up until that point. 3 weeks later, the clubs are open almost to max. We only had 40 people allowed in. So I think it's good. I'm proud of it. I'm happy that we did it.
So how do you feel? I just need to ask a couple of questions. So you did this, you only ran it a few times, which is remarkable, which is kind of like how Michelle Buteau actually ran her set. She barely ran it and then she just taped it. Okay. So how did it go when it was actually in front of a live audience?
And it's in front of a live. See, once I've been doing a lot of live audiences, it's been like 3 or 4 months now. That
now I haven't been.
Yeah, I guess, everybody had their own choice to make. I was getting gigs, but the problem was it's all 15-minute, 20 spots.
Right.
And when you're doing that, you keep doing all this new stuff that you're doing during the pandemic. And then I realized there's not enough new stuff, so I might as well fill it in. And I called the album probably going to be called The Bangers, because it was a lot of jokes that I've been doing for years, the ones that really, really kill. And I wanted to get them all on the same album because they're on YouTube, but they're not on an album. So I said, put them on there, and this way,
preserve all of it.
Comfort level with the jokes.
Right. Yeah. For your posterity, absolutely.
There's new stuff on there, but there's a lot of jokes that I've been doing for years. So,
well, congratulations.
A little bit more crowd at the club. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So tell me, what label are you with? Are you putting this out yourself? Because a lot of people are just throwing their shit out there and they don't need anybody. It's true.
800 Pound Gorilla.
Oh yeah. I'm with them too. I did my album with them as well. Yeah. They're great. That's great. Frank is one of the funniest men in this business. Frank, I think that we should make it a goal. I'm working on another hour right now. And I think that you should tape an album. We should do like a double. We should tape an album because this guy can write an hour like sitting in a cold shower for 10 minutes.
I think in a week, I think next Tuesday is my first stand-up spot since the pandemic. Although the pandemic isn't why I was never booked. It's because I'm not that good. But,
because they're dumb. Because you're the funniest fucking dude.
Yeah,
one of the funniest.
I'm doing stand up New York next Tuesday night.
Okay, awesome.
Which I'm looking forward to.
Are you doing? See you next Tuesday.
I don't know. I think it's Judy Gold's son books it.
Oh, okay. Because Perry L also does a show. Well, anyway, Frank. Mark, this is amazing that you're doing, that you just put out your album. Is it your first album because that's why you wanted, for your posterity, you wanted to use all your material, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've recorded obviously TV sets before in the past, but not an album. And I have a lot of the jokes are already on YouTube, but it's in an album now. So if you're driving around, as well as I do, you could hear it on XM, Sirius XM. That's a nice plus. and Apple iTunes. You can buy the whole album.
In fact, that's where they need to go if you want to make any money. Always push the Apple iTunes. But 800-Pound Gorilla is, like, to me, the best label out there. I mean, they really represent a lot. You're in good company with that label. Everybody from everybody that's anybody that I've ever respected is on that label. So that's good. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, I was
awesome.
honored that they approached me, and I'm excited to do the next one. I have almost probably another hour just of older jokes, just to get them, like Jerry Seinfeld said. The last time I'm going to do these.
That's
and
right.
I also have new stuff that I'm writing. I like the idea of once the thing drops, which is probably in a month.
Yeah.
I won't be able to do those jokes anymore. So I'm building up all this other stuff.
Yeah, now. I have a full hour. And you know what? I'm doing all new stuff. I haven't been up. I don't give a shit. What is the worst thing that can happen? You know what I mean? We just survived a pandemic, and I'm going up. I'm doing all new stuff. I don't care what happens. I'm committing to this new stuff. But I really want to see Frank put out an album this year. Frank, and I'm going to help you make that happen, because you literally are one of the funniest guys out there, one of the smartest and funniest guys, and I really want to see. The world needs to hear your stand-up, And I'll talk to 800-Pound Gorilla, and you should put an hour together. Start working on an hour. I think it's amazing. Getting all our stuff out there is so important, especially because we all survived. It's the only thing that we have in this business. Posterity of our work. That's about it. Okay.
Yeah. I think we're all very excited to get back on stage. I know I am,
Yeah. Minus the traffic and the traveling. Yes. Yes, I am.
But now in fact, I have a lunch date with someone tomorrow, which our mutual friend Carolina Hidalgo and Chris.
Oh, I love her.
We're having lunch tomorrow.
Nice.
And I don't know where it is, but I'm looking forward to taking the subway to get there. I haven't been in the subway in like 14 months.
Right. Yep.
So I'm looking forward to the whole ritual of going having to go someplace, having to put some effort into being somewhere, and being around people. I don't know if I'll be lucky enough to be in Andrew Yang's favorite subway station, but I'll do what I can. And also I've been going maskless on the streets, but
me too. A lot of people are still wearing their masks.
I'm going to wear masks. I'm going to wear a mask on the subway for the rest of my life. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what? I wish that rule was we should have been wearing masks before the pandemic on the subway. It's just always a good idea. Mark, we're going to bring, you want to stick around? I'm going to bring on our next guest. But Mark, first of all, I want to say fucking congratulations on your album. You're so funny. Get his goddamn album. Listen to this man. I've been working with him for years, and you're hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. It's going to be non-stop hilarity. I can't even wait. I can't wait to hear it,
Thank you so much,
and go to iTunes.
Thank you, Irene, for having me.
iTunes, don't be cheap.
Great.
I love you, Mr. DeMayo.
I have to go to work right now. Believe it or not,
Okay, sweetie. Thank you so much for being here. Love you.
I'll always come back. Frank, I look forward to hanging out with you. And
same here, man.
Do the album, man. I hope to hear.
Yep.
I will. Great.
Have a great day, guys.
Love you, Mark. Congratulations. Let me know when your album comes out, and I'll share it to my stories, tweet it out, and help you any way I can get the word out. Okay.
I love you. Give my
bye, sweetie. Love you.
Okay, bye.
I will. Bye. Okay, and coming up next, this other girl, Frank, you're gonna love her too. She's really sweet. She's awesome. She's funny. Let's give it up for Carla Oakerson, everybody. Carla in the house, or is she in the house? I said Carla's in the house. Carla. Hello there, gorgeous lady. Ooh, you got to turn on your mic. It's on mute.
Oh, here we go. Guys, you're in my bedroom. How hot is this?
Oh, it's
We're
so
in the middle of the day.
I
We're
am
in my bedroom. Shit's about to get. Is that a bathtub next to you? Oh no, we're in your bedroom too, Irene. Hi, Frank. Nice to meet you.
We're in my bedroom too. Okay, first of all, Carla, this is Frank Conniff. Frank Conniff. This is Carla Oakerson.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, longtime fan.
Long time. See, you've got the fans out there. I was just saying that Mr. Conniff has to put out an album. I'm going to help him with that, and I am going to help you with that. We're going to construct a plan. Miss darling, beautiful lady, how are you? How's the mothering going? Is the kid back in school? What's going on?
So, Irene, I love you. I can't wait to see you on Friday. Mothering it's going, I've got my big and my little. Frank, I don't know if you know, I have a 6-year-old and an 18-year-old.
Oh, an 18-year-old. Wow.
I mean, she looks 18 herself, right?
Yeah, I was a young whore.
Teen pregnancy. Whore, same thing.
So my older daughter just finished her first year of virtual college, which she did very well. But I mean, like, how do you not do well? Like, you don't even have to get out of bed.
Yeah,
I'm not even joking. Every test is open book because what are they going to do?
Yeah, right. How can they accuse you of cheating?
Yeah, exactly. There's literally nothing you can do. You just go look up the answers. So she did very well. Great. And then my little one was in hybrid kindergarten. So they would go some days, and then some days they would be home on the computer to reduce, the amount of kids that have to be in school. But she loves it.
She loves it.
It's an interesting year.
It has to be really hard for you. Now, listen, I'm going to just say a little about you. You're one of the hardest working people in the business. You're so kind. You're so funny. And, it's a miracle the way that you juggle all this stuff. I mean, it had to be really hard for you. You know what I mean? Having both the kids over the pandemic, trying to still work on your own personal stuff. And now that the world is reopening, how do you feel about, you're obviously getting out and doing more stand-up. How's that been for you? Just being able to have your freedom and life back?
It's kind of a 50-50 split for me because I kind of feel my views in no way reflect the views of the Mother May I podcast. I feel like, the US is kind of jumping the gun a little bit, and I feel like we're opening a little too fast. Mm-hmm. So, I worry about that. I worry about kind of, us as a nation getting in over our heads and then having to shut down or, having to deal with a large
It's almost
loss
like we have collective PTSD in a way, you know what I mean? So that's natural. I think we're all going through this PTSD. We don't ever want to have to shut down for an entire year.
Yeah, I feel like because we're open, in my opinion, I feel like because it went from we're closed to just kidding, nobody wear a mask, everything's fine. I'm like, wait, but a year ago we were all going to die, remember? So how is it? I feel like it was just a little bit much considering that some other countries are still, kind of in the thick of it, still trying to get a handle on it, and our airports are open. But That being said, I'm getting out there. But I'm, one of the weirdos that still wears a mask, no matter what.
A lot of people wear masks, and that's your comfort zone. But you know what? Get fucking vaccinated, people. There's a lot of people that are not getting vaccinated.
That's the thing is, I think that I read an article by a really good journalist the other day, and she said that Amanda Marcotte is her name, and she said we can't wait around for these assholes. We can't wait around for the Trump people who are willing to die to own the libs, who are just being stubborn about the vaccine, and we're never going to convince them to get vaccinated. They're never going to come along and do it, and so they can just kill each other off, but we have to go ahead and go back to our lives.
That's right. And you know what, Carla, if you feel listen, you have 2 kids. It was really difficult for you. You're I know that you have split custody with Jay, right? Jay, they're with Jay, they're with you. Carla is Jay Oakerson's ex-wife. He fucking lost big time, sweetie. Okay. The better fucking half for sure. Anyway, but he is a good dad, and they split custody, and it's
he's busy and he's away a lot. So
he's a comic. Yeah.
I have, I'm, doing most of the parenting.
Right.
So it's not, if he's away every weekend and the kids are in school during the week, it, kind of makes for splitting actual.
That's why you had to get an adequate replacement, and you got Mike Keegan. Oh wait, no, my God, am I saying his name right? Oh my God, I have
yes.
Okay, God, because I have these moments of it's crazy. It's hormonal. Anyway, so now is Mike helping you? Mike is another comic, Frank. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, sure.
Yes, because I didn't learn my lesson the first time about dating comics, so I decided I would double down and do it again.
Well, it's when you're a comic, you meet comics. That's the thing, And I was talking to a old comedian friend of mine last night. She met her husband at one of my open mics in Minneapolis, and she was saying that you know, open mics are like the cheapest date, you know.
I know, right? Like,
She
come
said
on.
we never even really formally dated. We just like saw each other at open mics every night, you know.
What did he do? He gave her his drink ticket. Here you go, sweetie. This is on me.
Here, can I buy you a drink?
Yeah, here we go. Oh my God, that's hysterical. Yeah.
Do you want to write together?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good.
There's always the writing together.
Yeah. Hey, I booked the new Facious show at Just for Laughs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. I know. But it's so you're back out there, and how's it been for you doing stand up? How do you feel? Like, how are the audiences? Because I hear that a lot of people say that the audience are a little resistant still. They're not feeling because they're spaced out. Carmen Lynch was actually saying this. She said because there isn't full capacity on the shows yet, that we're getting there, but they're kind of spaced out, or people don't feel comfortable still going indoors. So it's like they feel like they can't really laugh. Have you found that to be true? Or are they like really just...
Yeah, but I always felt it was because like they're not, you know, they don't want to be the one that's laughing, and because they're not surrounded tightly by people,
Right.
they're like, oh, they're only going to hear me. And I think a lot of people are self-conscious about their laugh.
Mhm.
So
We talked about that like a couple weeks ago, that there has to be a laugh leader in the audience.
Right.
There has to be someone who is
Right.
uninhibited in their laughing, and then everyone else is free to join in then. You
Right.
know,
I usually join in
people
with
are self-conscious about it.
That's right. And you know what? You're right. Both of you are right. That's why when we see each other, sometimes we're like, you have to make like a stupid laugh. So it kind of invites.
yeah, when I'm watching comics, I always make sure I laugh really loud, because I feel like if I'm laughing really loud, then the people around me are like, we
Yeah,
can
exactly.
do that too.
Yeah, exactly.
And
But
also, if you laugh really loud, it covers up you're secretly wishing for them to fail. You know?
That's only some comics.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
Oh, but no,
Not even most of them.
Frank, no, I disagree. I'm going to have to, I don't know if he's joking or not, but I remember the advice that I got from Dave Attell. Dave Attell said, just remember, when they're there to support you, they're secretly hoping that you fail. And sadly enough, it's fucking competitive business. You're not like that, Carla. That's you have an open heart. You really are. And you're such a sweetheart, you know, which is, I'm not saying everybody's like that, but
I'm not like that anymore, because I used to, because all the people that I've secretly wished would fail have all become incredible successes.
So it had the opposite effect, right?
It actually helps them.
Okay, you know what?
If
Frank,
you
stop
could
being
like
a
wish
fucking
I could
fan,
fail,
right? Start
if you
hating
could
me.
wish we could fail a little
Yeah,
bit, like
exactly.
Irene and I, if you could really just give us that
That's
evil
hard.
eye.
It'd be hard for me, but I'll try.
I know. He's also got a very much an open heart. So you've been out there, you've been doing some stand up, and you feeling like the audience is, so I know that you work the brokerage and Governors a lot. So how are the clubs doing? Because I know they took a big hit. How's everything?
Yeah, you know what? I think that I feel like the clubs really rolled with the punches so well. You know, they did take a big hit, and they definitely got the crap end of the stick because they made all of these changes and still got shut down. But then the plus side of that is that when everything started opening back up, I feel like audiences really were able to feel comfortable because they had the plexiglass, dividers up with the bar, and all the staff was wearing masks and gloves, and they switched over to disposable everything. They're disinfecting everything.
Right.
And the social distance in the table is so evident because we really went from like, essentially having people sitting on your lap at a comedy club to now you would have to reach an entire arm's length to be able to reach the person at the next
table. We were giving lap dances before, and now we're like,
well, that reminds me, the plexiglass shows that Show World in Times Square was ahead of its time.
So was the Brady Bunch with Zoom, Frank. Yes.
That's right.
Pathetic. Well, I think that Governors had a really good handle on their shit, because I went up and did a Zoom show there with Jessica Kierson and Rachel, and they really set up it was great. Really high tech. Like they had the screens up, so it looked like you were right in front of people. They did a really, really nice job. Now, do they
Governors handled the pandemic better than our actual governor.
Yeah. I did the Zoom show the week before you with Mike Vecchione and Katie Hannigan. So,
my God.
Their setup was amazing. So the way they had it set up is you're on the stage, the regular stage, and then in front of you is a huge screen. And in that screen is the entire Zoom meeting. So you have an actual live, moving, somewhat muted audience because they also had somebody there controlling the room. So you, they could see you laughing and unmute you. They would see, that Irene's having a, screaming match with her husband and mute her. They see someone vacuuming, mute them, which to me was actually shows more funny is you're able to see people, in their living rooms, in their real life, watching this. Either clueless about what's going on behind them. You just see somebody like walk by in their boxers, or like somebody's cat walks by the camera and you just see like cat tail and butthole all of a sudden.
Right. Which we love. That makes me happy. I'll see all the cat tail and butthole. You're sacked to yourself.
Has anyone watching through Zoom, and this is a serious question, has anyone ever like tried to heckle a comic that way?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, they do. They heckle, absolutely. But that's what the whole beauty is. You could just mute them,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why they were in control, because they were heckling. Well, I didn't get heckled, or maybe I did and I didn't hear them. It's always weird for me, Frank. I'm Team Frank when I say I didn't like the Zoom shows. I need a live audience. I feed off of live audiences, as many comics do. It's not unusual that I do. I'm sure we all do. I think I did hear one or two comics say that they prefer Zoom, but,
I don't get that.
I don't know about prefer Zoom, but I definitely prefer a live audience. Like the energy is so different, but
there is energy.
Yeah, but after going so long without doing anything, when you got to do a Zoom, when at least for me, the first time I got to do a Zoom show, I was almost giddy. Because I was like, look, like people, and you guys are gonna laugh, like, or not, but either way, here we all are. It's gonna be fun, and I'm gonna watch other comics. This is gonna be great. So it was.
Well, I don't know if I felt that. I was like, well, how is this gonna be with Zoom? Because I really connect to the audience. I talk to them. I fuck around with them, and you really can't do that on Zoom. But I am excited about doing our show at the brokerage this Friday night. I'm so excited to get back on stage. It's the first live show that I'm doing. First live show back. But then I got other stuff after that. First live show back. All new material. I don't know.
At the Broadway Comedy Club?
No, at the brokerage. At the brokerage at Governor's. It's on Long Island. It's the only good thing about Long Island. Carla?
No, I can't come actually. It was in Manhattan or in the city. But when I look back though, I have now I'm realizing that in a lot of the live shows that I did before the pandemic, like maybe people were put on mute then too, because you hear that noise.
And also heckling for me, I'm one of these weird comics that just, I don't mind the hecklers. You know what I mean? I love them. They keep me on top of. Actually, Frank, you might be like this too. I've seen you with hecklers. I don't know if you prefer it or not. I'm not saying I love and want hecklers, but I don't mind so much.
I don't. You know what? I don't like hecklers, but I don't mind someone in the audience. They're with a group of people, whatever, and they're having a good time and they're enjoying you, and they
interact.
That inspires them to say something, and then you have an interaction with them, and you can usually get some really good laughs that way. I think the important, unless it's some drunken asshole heckler, that the only way he can be dealt with is he has to be thrown out, and they usually don't throw them out, which sucks.
Oh, I know.
Unless it's someone like that, like. The best way to deal with a heckler is to not be hostile, is to like come back with a joke or something, maybe at their expense, maybe at your expense, but just that it's in the spirit of, well, we're having fun here, and
it's in jest,
and hopefully we can have this little interaction, and then I can move on with my act, and you'll shut up. That's the problem. Sometimes they don't shut up, and that's problem.
It's like, and then they'll continuously interrupt the show, and that's when you have to disengage completely. And normally the cancer has to be removed, but often it's not, like you said. But that's when you stop. You just shut down the interaction immediately. You know what I mean?
I always find it interesting when some people really just they don't stop the whole night, and then at the end of the night, they come over and they're so happy to meet you. And they're like, I was helping you.
Yeah, I know.
No, you weren't, bitch.
You were not. You were not. You literally were shutting down the entire show. Everyone hated you. Why did you do this?
So true, especially on Long Island. But you know what? On Staten Island too. But I think Staten Island might be my actually Long Island. People complain about Long Island, but at least you're not on Staten Island. That's what I always say. You know what I mean? There's always a borough. It's a trickle down.
Last night, I did my live movie riffing show with Trace, and
awesome!
This film from 1958 called The Lost Missile that took place in New York, and I just wanted to tell you, you'd be happy. I did a lot of Staten Island jokes last night.
Oh, you did? Oh no! And I didn't tune in.
I said that a nuclear missile was coming. And I said, people in Staten Island will welcome death, stuff like that.
They welcome it. You want to hear something weird, like what Carla was saying, piggybacking on her thing with the masks? I'll tell you something. I go out on Staten Island. I cannot believe this. These are the very people that were like COVID deniers, didn't want to like wear a mask, really vetoed the mask hardcore in the beginning, right? No one is taking their mask off here. Not outside. Yeah. Not in the stores.
It's surprising to me in New York, in Manhattan. The first day that they said it was okay to not wear a mask outside, I totally didn't wear a mask. I was totally into it. I didn't wear a mask. I went outside, but everybody else on the street still had their mask on. Maybe they weren't vaccinated yet. I don't know. But it's
all those people, though. I don't know.
But it's slowly over the past few weeks. I see more people without masks, but still a ton of people still wearing masks, though.
It's crazy. A lot of people here on Staten Island, I see maybe one all wearing their masks, especially indoors. And you know what? I took my mask off indoors. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take my mask off. I went indoors, but then I had to check. I thought, because honestly, here's the thing. It's been lifted, but each place can make that personal decision. They can mandate mask wearing if they want to. So I had to go up to the store to the woman at the cashier, and I said, I'm sorry, am I breaking the rule? Because I don't want to be like this fucking rebel breaking the rule. You know what I mean? I said, but she goes, no, you're not at all. You don't have to wear the mask. It's recommended, and I probably should have put it on, but I didn't because I had this lipstick on, and who the fuck wants to hide these lips? Am I right? Come on now, right?
I have a question for you guys. I don't know if it's because I'm, kind of a little bit in the suburbs and there weren't that many people in the street, or I was never wearing a mask outside.
Oh,
yeah, that makes sense to me. Like that, because when the pandemic first started, like if I was walking on a city street and there weren't a lot of people, I would take my mask off. Like I was really trying to not wear it as much as I could, but I'd put it on if there was if it got crowded. But then I realized it's just easier to leave it on because then all you're thinking about is taking it off. So I left it on, but I could totally see if you live in a place where there's not a lot of population, you could totally go maskless walking.
Yeah, so I would leave my car, walking into a grocery store, put it on,
right?
And then, go and do whatever I had to do, and then I would come out and take it off and go to my, I would just pull it down, But if I was gonna just go outside and take a walk around the block, the likelihood I would see 4 people. If I saw 4 people.
Yeah.
Even now, and I'm not talking about, in the middle of the pandemic when everyone was hiding in the house. I mean, right now, if I saw 4 people, I would be like, wow, I guess everyone's home today like me. Everybody's unemployed like me.
Yeah, right. Everybody's unemployed.
Whereabouts do you live, if you don't mind?
I live in Freeport on Long Island.
Oh, okay.
Is that far from Governor, sweetie? Or
I'm like less than 10 minutes from Broke Ridge. I'm all the way on the South Shore.
Oh, you're so goddamn lucky, sweetie.
I'm 10 minutes from Governor's, and then I'm maybe 40 minutes from McGuire's. So sometimes that makes me a little lazy to go into Manhattan because, I'm going to be driving for an hour, looking for parking for an hour, to do 5 minutes somewhere.
Yeah, no,
and then hop back in the car and drive for another hour.
Yeah.
If there's no traffic. That's
I hear that. I'm going to echo that. I'm amplifying that. I will not do that anymore. Those are one of the things that were casualties. Unless there's like a reason that I need to get up, like I need to work on something. It takes me sometimes 2 hours to get into the city. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. So it's like 2 hours to get in, 2 hours back. That's 4 hours of driving. Frank, I have road rage. And then it's the Verrazano Bridge. That's a toll both ways. Gas, and then remember when I was doing John's show, I always got a ticket. Remember, my car would get ticketed. I spent thousands of dollars doing John's show, and I even got towed a couple of times. So it's like, you know, I have to pick and choose my battles with that one. You know what I mean?
Well, going into the city, if you're going during the day, especially because you were going to Sirius, right? It doesn't make any sense to not park in a lot, because it's you can either park in a lot and pay the $65 right now, and know you're not going to get a ticket that's going to turn into $150.
Thanks for pointing that out.
But if not, you get a ticket and $65. Then if you don't pay it immediately, it turns to $95. Then it turns to $150.
Yeah.
And then it turns to having a meltdown in the street because they towed your car, and now it's $700.
And I do have the meltdowns. I've been so lazy, and I want to go into the city. Frank, I want to see you so bad. I miss seeing you in person. I'm like, I want to come in. I want to go to our regular spot. We usually go to this place called the Mansion. It's like I don't even want to call that a diner, because it's like the best food ever. You know what I mean?
Where is it?
It's like
on 86th and York Avenue. I live on in Yorkville, Upper East Side.
Right. So I got to get my butt over there to see you and take you out to lunch, and so we can hang, you know. Actually, and parking in your neighborhood isn't so bad, but at the end, when I kept going there, I couldn't find parking. But normally, York Avenue is pretty good with traffic, you know. So forget about what it's going to take me to get to Governor's on Friday. I'm going to have to leave at 7 a.m., pack a nice breakfast, and then see you guys at fucking 8 o'clock. Because the other, 3 weeks ago, I had to go to a family barbecue to Long Island, right near Governor's. And it took me, and I'm not exaggerating, it took me 3 hours, Carla.
I believe that. I believe that. I used to work and have to go to the jail in Sunset Park. And that's how.
Why?
Well, I used to be a criminal defense attorney.
Wow. Couldn't you have done something a little impressive? Jesus.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, you fucking slacker.
In my previous life, I was a criminal. So I used to go to the federal prison there and see my client.
What the hell? When were you going to start bringing this up? I mean, I've known her. Never once has she ever brought this up to me. Did
you really not know that I'm an attorney? Now I'm listening.
Never. If I did, first
attorney,
of all,
but, yeah.
I would have been hitting you up and soliciting free advice here and there the whole time. You would fucking hate me. But of course, I never knew that. But it
really?
makes a lot of sense.
I thought it was a pretty open secret. Yeah, so I was for 11 years. I did federal criminal defense, and then it just kind of got to the point where I was very.
It was interfering with stand-up, open mics.
No, it really was. It was just I was very burned out from doing it. The federal system is very, it's very anti-plaintiff. It's very anti-defendant, I should say. So, people that will get arrested for essentially the same crime and end up on state charges will get maybe 2 or 3 years. And in the federal system, they'll get 10 or 15 years.
Wow.
So it went from me feeling like, hey, I'm here and I'm doing a good thing and I'm making a difference to me feeling like this is all a scam and I'm a cog in this system, making people think that I'm making a difference and they have help. But really, I'm just here perpetuating this, the system of keeping people incarcerated. It's not really helping people. Putting somebody in a box for 15 years does not help them in any way.
Of course. We need to decriminalize so many things. You're absolutely right. But I never knew that. That's so extra. You know what? We're running out of time, but we have to have you back. That's how we're going to solve this issue. Okay.
Talk about that.
That's it. Let's just talk about that next time. We just want to full on talk about that. And
I'm always amazed by comedians who are capable of doing other things.
Yeah. You know what I did in my...
I'm a comedian because I have no skills at anything else whatsoever.
I'm right there with you, Frank. I don't have a skill set.
When comedians and there are a few lawyers, comedians I can think of. Dino Padala and Greg Giraldo was another.
Harvard no less. Yes.
Yeah. And Dan Natterman, who I love.
Oh yeah, Dan Natterman. Yeah.
Oh, Dan Natterman. Right. So there's a lot of I don't have a skill set other than comedy and Zoom aerobics, and I'm ready to kill everybody on Zoom aerobic. Is this thing on? It's like,
but it is a lot of a matching skill set, lawyering and being a stand-up comedian. You have to be very quick on your feet. You have to be very, you have to be very good with people. There's a lot of memorization involved, and the only thing is people in court cannot take a joke. Let me tell you something. Nothing is funny in federal court.
It is a stage. Yeah.
But also, we comedians, so know what it's like to be judged.
Yeah. I love it, Frank. That's the closer. You're so fabulous. All right, Carla, I love you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Great to meet you. You're
so well, I will absolutely have you back, sweet girl. Why don't you plug anything that you want to plug before we go?
Well, we do have Girls Gone Funny coming up on Friday.
Yeah, right.
With our illustrious headliner, Irene Bremis. I'm so excited for everyone to come out.
And then
on Saturday, I will be at a fundraiser for Pit of Our Souls, which is a pit bull rescue organization. And then I will leave there. I will towel myself off because I'm sure it's going to be hot. And I'm going to jump in. I'm going to be opening for JJ Ramirez at McGuire's.
Fabulous. Awesome.
I'm going to be running around all over the place.
Right. You're running all over the place. I'm so happy you could stop in and see us today. We love you. We'll have you back. Frank, you know how much I love you. I don't have to repeat myself. Is there anything that you want to plug before we go?
Well, my next show is next month, but I'm gonna do a Tinder Live with Lane Moore at Littlefield in Brooklyn.
Nice.
This month, so.
Awesome.
That's my half-ass promotion for those things.
Okay, and I'm going to be at the brokerage along with this lovely lady. We're going to be at the brokerage this Friday night, 8 p.m. Buy your goddamn tickets ahead of time. I can't stress it enough. I love you guys, and we'll see you. We'll see you next Tuesday. You know what I mean? Okay, you know what I mean.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Mother May I podcast with Frank and Irene on Strong Island Entertainment. Check us out next week when Frank and Irene sit down with, you know what? I don't know what these two are going to do next, but we'll see you next week.